Ladies and gentlemen across the galaxy, hot news off the press in regards to everybody's favorite Mandalorian. We got some big news. We know last week Capital Games broke down for us that we're getting some Mandalorian characters for Galaxy of Heroes. Gary, wrong page. Over here, Gary. Jeez. Right now streaming on Twitch. Come hang out with us on Twitch right now. If you're watching the video right in the first few moments, we'll be on Twitch for another 2 hours here. But as we were streaming, the chat was very kind enough to share this with me in regards to some details regarding the release dates for Mandalorian, Greef Karga, as well as Cara Dune. No, it's weird. StarWars.com has been breaking news before Galaxy of Heroes. No full kit reveals yet on the forums. We keep looking and looking, but we got a little teaser in regards to how these kits are going to work for Greef Karga and Cara Dune, more specifically, which makes me think Bossk lead might have a comeback if you can't take full advantage of a Mandalorian team. And before we go through those little teasers, let's just let you guys know when it's happening. Greef Karga and Cara are going to be added on April 22nd. So in 2 days from now, they're going to be happening, I presume, marquee events. You'll get the character with the 3 stars for free, probably 4 stars for $20. And then if you want to get the 7 stars right away, it's going to cost some pretty coin. And Mando himself is going to be coming out on April 30th. So next week, that's going to be happening. Stay tuned for a lot of videos. We will be live streaming the unlocking, first initial testing on all these guys. So definitely come and hang out with us if you want to learn more about these characters and get a good initial impression. What I'm looking here, though, is let's say you're not going to get this full Mando team put together anytime soon. You might be able to at least take advantage of Greef Karga as well as Cara Dune, because Cara Dune looks like she's going to have a lot of synergies with Rebels. Look at this. Normally the synergies tag shows like General Kenobi or something like that. These guys are chock full of synergy potentials. We got Rolo, Akbar, CLS, Hera, C-3PO. We have Jin Erso, it looks like down there. You can barely see these guys' faces. That's how much they jammed in there. And then, of course, the Scoundrel tag is getting pretty busy lately. And then Greef Karga. Look at all those lovely bounty hunters looking for a puck, looking for a new payout. Let's go ahead and read this for you guys. I'll leave a link to you guys down below in the comment section if you want to read this yourself. It's hard to find this unless you're on StarWars.com. So the Mandalorian and crew join Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. The Masked Warrior, Greef Karga, and Cara Dune will be available in the mobile app soon. We talked about this the other day too. I have a feeling we're building up to the Child Legendary event. I have a feeling all these guys will be marquee events, probably eventually building up to the Child, but that's a whole other wild speculation. You guys can watch that video. An agent of the Bounty Hunters Guild and veteran of the Galactic Civil War are joining to fight in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes later this month alongside a mysterious masked Mandalorian. And StarWars.com is excited to share the new character designs from the Mandalorian, streaming now on Disney+. Joining the crew in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Greef Karga. In the game, Greef Karga, the strategic leader of the Bounty Hunters Guild, will bring some support to the attacker-heavy Bounty Hunter squad. The most attacker-heavy Bounty Hunter squad we have right now is going to be Jango Fett. Jango Fett's lead, Jango Fett, Boba Fett. Those guys are normally the bigger hitting ones. Embo, we don't see too much Embo love, and he'll bring some support to the attacker-heavy Bounty Hunter squads. And with any luck, Greef Karga is going to help hand out a few more Bounty Hunter pucks. So you have to actually read this to understand a bit more. Again, not a full kit reveal. It's like a 33% kit reveal. So we have light side. We were just talking about this in our Twitch chat here. It's fantastic that we're getting these guys a light side oriented. I know there's some debate whether Greef Karga is light side, neutral, dark side. If I had to pick light or dark, I want it to be light side, not just because I think he affiliates more with that in the lore, but right now we're streaming light side Genos' territory battles as we're recording this video, and we need as many great light side teams as possible. Right now, Galactic Legends Ray is doing the trick, but let me tell you, not a lot of people getting that anytime soon. So this is going to be great. Support Bounty Hunter and Scoundrel. Gains bonuses when allied. And this is the kicker. This is really cool. And enemy Bounty Hunters gain payouts. So if you're doing like a Bossk lead versus a Bossk lead, if the opposing Bossk lead gets their contract to trigger, all the payouts get paid out, then all of a sudden you're going to get benefits as well for your team. It's pretty crazy. We don't really see too many Bounty Hunter mirror matches, but maybe if you want to do a Bounty Hunter mirror match, having Greef Karga is going to turn the tide in your favor. We're going to have a second all Bounty Hunter allies assisting capability. Bossk is the only one we have right now for the Bounty Hunters that calls everyone to assist. Greef Karga is going to have a second one. So now I have Bossk and Greef Karga doing some work. Provide substantial recovery. Recovery meaning, I'm guessing, health and protection regeneration and support for Bounty Hunters. Bossk lead already has some crazy recovery. We know that's kind of one of those staple Grand Arena teams. I can only imagine what Greef Karga is going to do. We don't know how he's going to recover, but I'm imagining if you can't get Mando anytime soon, Bossk leads the way to run this, and then he synergizes with allies that have payouts active. So let's take a little brief moment and go over to our game to kind of look at this a little bit closer. So we have Bossk right here on the hunt. You already get 50% max protection, extra tenacity, yada, yada, yada. But whenever an enemy suffers a debuff or resists, all bounty hunter allies recover 5% health and protection. And Greef Karga, he's going to be adding on top of that extra recovery in some way, shape, or form. And he also is a bounty hunter himself. So it's kind of like, we see, for example, Ness get thrown in a Bossk team. She benefits nada, zilch, from a Bossk lead because she's not a bounty hunter. Well, the great thing is Greef Karga is going to be both a bounty hunter and a scoundrel. So whatever leader you're going to run that's leading the bounty hunters into action, Greef Karga is going to benefit from that. I'd really appreciate seeing Bossk get a little bit better. He's all right, not as deadly as he used to be way back when, but it's showing that they recommend doing the Mandalorian for the leader. So no idea if Greef Karga is going to have a leadership himself. You would think that he would. It says he's a strategic leader of the Bounty Hunters Guild, but who knows? Amlin Holdo led the resistance in The Last Jedi, but she doesn't have no leader ability. So I digress. Moving on, talking about Cara Dune. Bring in your rebellion back up and running. All this anti-Empire synergy. Why would they give them so much anti-Empire synergy, Gary? Last I saw, Palpatine was having a hard time with L337. So I don't know if we're going to maybe get a rework for Imperials. I don't know. I digress. Let's read what we have here. So then there's Cara Dune, the formal rebel shock trooper who reinvented herself as a mercenary for hire, hiding out on Sorgon. There's no question she can hold her own, whether she's fighting stormtroopers or going toe-to-toe with the Mandalorian. And Galaxy Heroes Cara's skills will make her an additional tank for rebel squads who could also provide scoundrel teams with an additional damage dealer. So there's a good possibility they might be splitting her up. If in rebel squad, make her super tanky, make her taunt, yada, yada, yada. We see a little bit of what she does in the little highlight. We'll read that in a moment. If in a scoundrel team, jack up her damage 5 million%. We're just throwing out some wild numbers to get the point across. There's a very good chance if they do some conditionals, if this condition happens, that will happen. If this condition happens, that will happen. So it's kind of interesting because it says she's versatile. We kind of already said that, how she might work with the rebel and scoundrel team, but self-revive. There's only one self-reviving tank in the rebel crew, for example, and that's the Scandroid Pathfinder. And he's kind of used a little bit because people are kind of relic him up for the ships and stuff like that. But we're going to have a second one. But potency up has to be active, which is kind of weird. See, usually with the Scandroid Pathfinder, you just need a buff. He's going to come back. A little bit different here. And strong anti-Empire synergies, which really gets me to believe this is in preparation for the Empire Strikes Back stuff they're wanting to do in May. We don't know the exact details of what they want to do for Empire Strikes Back, but there's really not a reason to have anti-Empire kits in here. There's really not a lot of Empire teams. All the Empire teams that we see they're just okay. Let's not get too carried away here. So this might be moving into the future, and look at this. All these rebels that she synergized with. We have Rolo, Akbar, CLS, Hera, my gosh, C-3PO, Jet Urso. Some people in chat are hoping that maybe like Rolo will get a rework for the upcoming Empire Strikes Back love. We'll have to wait and see. And then there's the Scoundrels. Those are two huge tags to be a part of in Galaxy Heroes, and Cara Dune will somehow bounce between them. Scoundrels especially have a lot of weird, cool teams going on. We'd love to see how Kara's going to run in there. And then, before we actually talk about the Mandalorian, because there's not that much to talk about, I just want to bring it over here because we have these reviving tanks and stuff like that. Scandroid Pathfinder. On this account, we have a Relic 7 one. I'm wondering what type of relationship is she going to have with this? Because a Scandroid Pathfinder has any buffs when he's defeated. He's revived with 50% max health and 20% Terminator for each living rebel ally. This is a tank. I know it's a tank that not a lot of people see because it's not important to have relic up. But if you see a lot of whales and krakens, there's a reason why they relic this up. One, for the ship, because it has a darn good ship for the rebellion. But secondly, it is actually kind of good as a leftover tank. I'm looking at this faction, and there's just a lot of possibilities. Of course, getting some reworks for Captain Han Solo, Rolo. Who knows? Maybe in Phoenix. I don't know if I'm going to really play with the idea of Phoenix getting a love anytime soon, but there's a possibility. When you look at this Rebel faction and Scoundrels, there's just so much potential in there. So for Rebellion and Scoundrel lovers, you have a lot of possibilities of Cara. But wrapping this up right here, ladies and germs across the galaxy, then we have Mando. We already briefed it at the beginning. April 30th, Mandalorian's coming. Whether shooting from the hip with his blaster pistol or using his M-band sniper rifle to disintegrate his enemies, the Mandalorian is always prepared to take on whatever or whoever gets in his way. So no kit reveal breakdown from Mando yet. A lot of people are hoping this is going to be kind of like an aerial advantage from Captain Rex, or perhaps an Annihilate from Darth Nihilus. You would think it's like that because, you know, when Mobile Gamer says, "Get off my lawn!" he's using his Amban sniper rifle, blasting those Jawas to oblivion. Beyond that, ladies and gentlemen, let's check one more time. Maybe we got a full kit reveal on the forums. No, I don't see any full kit reveals here, unfortunately, at the time being. Doesn't say exactly where these guys are going to be farmable, but again, my prediction, it's going to be a marquee event. Usually when they push out a bunch of characters at once, it's going to be marquee. They don't make these guys free to play farmable day one. The whole system is, if you're not familiar with it, they release the character marquee, unless it's a legendary. Let's ignore legendaries right now. They come out marquee, and then 3 months later, they become free to play. Most likely on a hard node. Man, if they put Mandalorian in a very accessible place like Cantina or something like that, that'd be a huge bone for the community. We need a couple big bones for the community. Because, man, new characters are cool and all, but one, there's not actual content to play the characters in. It's not as exciting. And secondly, when people aren't going to really fully play these characters until like 6 months down the line, it's kind of hard to get excited. So I really hope Capital Games keeps in mind these are highly desired characters, especially Mando. So at the minimum, I'm hoping they make Mando very easily accessible, farmable 3 months down the road, and then maybe do Greef Karga character on the hard node if need be. So that's going to be it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Man, it feels good. It feels good finally getting some information, but I'm hoping we get a full kit reveal. This is a little teaser for you guys. Like if you did enjoy the video, comment down below on all your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing in our beloved empire. And I'll see all you lovely people in the next video. Gary, cue the outro. Bam! Bam! There we go.